Joining us to talk about that and so much more. Two folks who know about the inertia of Washington, former Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Jason Furman. He's now at Harvard's Kennedy School, and former Congressional Budget Office Director Doug Holtz Eakin is with us. He's now president of the American Action Forum. Good morning to both of you. I will start with you, Jason.
Morning.
You know the numbers better than anybody. What do you think can actually get done through executive actions?
On the spending side, very little. On the regulatory side, probably quite a lot. But even there, it takes patience. You need to sort of dot your I's, cross your T's, or it's not going to get done.
So when we look back, now they've set a date, as you know, July 4th, 2026, for when this project is supposed to be completed, if you will. If we were to sort of project out and we were to meet on that day, Independence Day, no less, do you think that they would have achieved this $2 trillion goal?
I'm very skeptical. The spending cuts are actually well known. There's a bunch of career staff at OMB. By the way, they are career staff. They're so-called government bureaucrats. They work really hard. They're really knowledgeable. They know where all the spending cuts are. There's people throughout these agencies that know. The problem is that members of Congress don't want to do it because it's coming out of something that they care about. Some of it's a little bit harder than you'd think. And so the only way DOGE, I think, could help on the spending side is if it provided cover for the types of efficiencies that everyone's already aware of and would like to do. But it's really that political cover that could matter. But by the way, if it also just slashes and burns, it's not gonna work.
So, Doug, what kind of cover do you think they can provide, and what kind of numbers do you think are realistic here?
Well, I want to agree with Jason. I mean, it's one thing to improve the efficiency of the government and to reduce costs, and no one should oppose that. But it's another thing to completely reshape the size and scope of the federal government. That's what they're promising. They don't have the tools to do it. And so I think we're looking at tens of billions of dollars of savings. That would be great. But $2 trillion is simply not realistic. And they can provide some political cover. I mean, the precedent for DOGE is the Grace Commission back in the Reagan administration. And one of the things that went on in the Grace Commission is that the agencies went to the commission and said, hey, you should order us to do X, Y, and Z, because those need done, and we've not been able to get Congress to agree. So if they can identify those things, highlight them, they are well situated to put some pressure on Congress to clean some things up. That'd be a good outcome.
So what kind of stuff would you put on that list? I mean, for example, would you start means testing Social Security? Do you think they could provide cover for that? That would have some impact, I would imagine, on the real big numbers.
So that would have a real impact. I mean, I think one of the things that I've noticed so far is they seem obsessed with the head count. But Social Security is not an expensive program because it has a lot of employees. It's because it sends out a lot of checks. And Medicare is expensive not because it has a lot of employees, because it sends out a lot of checks. If they, in fact, identify ways to improve the checks, the actual spending programs, and get the president to back them, because it's not going to happen without that, and they get Congress to go along, that would be an enormous accomplishment. I guess that's not happened for, 20 years since President Bush tried, and so I'm skeptical they can pull it off, but that would be an amazing outcome.